All right, everyone, I've got an interesting bike. What is it? It's a Teewing. So I was trying to figure out who are Teewing. They're basically a company that makes electric scooters. Before I noticed they make them, and now they've got this, which is the Turbo Force. This is the L size. We're going to pull it out of the box and have a look at it. It's one of these bikes with a DJI motor on it. As people said in the comments the other day, the chains of hell rattle when we hear a DJI motor. Everyone's convinced I hate DJI. All I did was explain how the motor works. Anyway, so let's try and get this out. How do we... Well packed. Very well packed. The goodie box, what's in this? Let's have a look. Okay, so we've got some pedals, we've got the charger, wheel supports. So it's worth saying, I got this from Montalbano Bikes, so if you want to buy one of these things, there's not that many of them around. A couple ready to use. Helpful on my back. That is a well-packed bike. Right, so let's move this big box out of the way. Pro E lift stand. So this is my new favorite toy. It's an electric lift stand, clamp on it. So I'm gonna figure it out. Let's clamp the saddle rather. Shit. Everything's falling. We'll clamp this. Oh, we've got a Selly Royal saddle. On the saddle, there we go. My electric lift, which costs €1,200. Feedback Sports, amazing thing. So I'm not sure if they're mail order. I think they are mail order, but you can get them from shops. It's carbon frame, RockShox suspension, line shock, not a piggyback. Can't remember the price. I have to go and ask actually. So geometry is a 2018 turbo lever. Things come in, I mean, they're actually officially available here. Unlike in some countries, they're not actually officially available. I mean, if you get the bikes just through, because everyone was so desperate to get hold of a DJI motor, that people have basically been buying the motors, they haven't really been buying the bikes. And they're so desperate to get the motor that they just sort of bought anything, which gave the opportunity to brands that we've never heard of to make these motors. Now, it's worth noting, why has this motor become so popular? Well, one of the reasons is because of the huge amount of money spent on marketing by DJI. This is a DJI Avinox motor written on this one. So it's still got the Avinox logo, even though, DJI logo, even though officially DJI are not making motors anymore, so they can avoid any trouble with the American government, who has classed them as a military company, because apparently DJI have involvement from the Chinese government, which we all know is not democratic, so they decided to sort of avoid that kind of association and allow them to trade freely. In fact, if you look in America at the moment, you cannot buy brand new DJI drones. It's like they've gone. So you can't get hold of them. You can buy spare parts. Yeah, so there's definitely some politics, which I don't normally make commentary on. So what have we got going on here? Oh, let's get this packaging. This is a well-packaged bike, well-proportioned. I'm trying to think about what battery it fits in line with. It looks similar to the Fatsua, but it's longer. So the Fatsua battery is about the same in form, so it looks like it would fit in a lightweight e-bike. I don't know how much this weighs actually, so we will weigh it. Stand. There we go, we've got two remotes, we've got the display there. I'll move the camera in a minute. Make a choice of brake from and connection from SRAM, because it does allow a much simpler bar, and they've been doing this for years, and then they're always the same, they're never different, so for years you can get all the SRAM stuff to fit. Whereas if you get to Shimano, we're turning it on just to have a look at it. And we're going to turn on the screen in a minute, I want to see what happens. So axle comes pre-greased, which is good. Bike is in excellent state of build, nothing missing. I think there's even pressure in the tyres. It's got a RockShox Lyric fork, so it's got a full SRAM build kit. Let's weigh it first. So no pedals, large size. This is my size bike, so we could save a bit more weight, but 21.74. It's still heavier than a real lightweight e-bike, so it's not really a lightweight. It's a midweight e-bike, full power. It's not, so a real heavyweight e-bike is actually properly heavyweight. Right, so let's turn it on, see what happens when we do that. I'm sorry it's not one of those super flashy videos with lots of... So let's do the turn on experience. What does it do? Turning on, there you go. It says Avinox, you can choose your, so you've got a touch screen, you can choose your language, or I'll put it in English for the moment. Activate device. So this is what I wanted to know. You can ride for 100 kilometers without activating bike. Pair bike with app and activate for normal usage. Now it's not my bike, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm going to hit skip. But my main question is here, what would Lewis Rossman say? What would Clippy say? Clippy would not be impressed. They would put it back in the box and send it back because they don't like the fact that you have to, you've bought the bike, you own it, so you shouldn't have to activate it with an app. You own it. So you're going to have to give your data or somebody's data to some company that's not even the bike company. This is not Teewing's issue. This is more Avinox. You shouldn't really have to do that. You don't have to do that with any other e-bike that I know, and it's on. So you can do 100 kilometers before it'll ask for activation with the app. Right, so let's see what we've got in the menu. I'm interested to see. It's all zeroed. So we can pair with an app, device status, accessories, mode, custom assist. Okay, so we can customize the assist. This is what I wanted to see. Inside, you've got the customize assist mode. So you can go to auto, and you can set the torque, you can set the assistance, 7 to 11, min max, you can do that, you can fiddle with it, hit confirm, I won't change that one, so that's interesting. So max power you can set in the box, it comes at 850, but you can set it to 1000, okay, so that's there. This is Europe, so you can do that. In America, apparently you're not supposed to be able to, it should come only to 750, but confirm that's at 1000. Max torque, 105. Obviously, if you press and hold the boost mode, it'll go more. So assistance, you can then put 15 to 11. Okay, it gives you the top range. So it breaks it up. You can't turn it all the way down. You've got motor overrun there. This has not been shown by any other YouTuber. Why not, people? This is ridiculous. It should be shown properly. Assisted start, you've got 5, assisted, continued assist, and then you can fiddle with that there. Slowest, medium, fastest. Okay, interesting. Assistance is at 12. You can put it at 15 if you want. Interesting, that's the turbo mode. Now if you press and hold the button, right, so there we go. That's basically it. You do have all the options to tune it on the screen. I've been saying that recently. I want to be able to do that, and now it looks like. Clippy would not be happy that you have to associate it with an app, otherwise you can't ride it. You only get 100 kilometers. Now I'm sure there's going to be a reason for it, which is to steal your data. They want to know who you are, why you've got it, your phone number, all that kind of stuff. Or it could be so you can make sure it's not stolen, who knows. It's got 23% of battery on it. Anyway, interesting, right. Well, I can't really do much more with that with the bike in the stand. I just wanted to make sure that it did actually work. It's in boost mode, there you go. Press and hold it and it stays in boost mode. Main distinction when I'm looking at this is the frame. It looks very similar to a Fuel EX from Trek. That tube shape is pretty much bang on exactly the same. I'm not seeing much difference there, which is all down to the battery. The battery's longer, so it's got an 800 watt hour battery in there, which means it goes all the way up here. You could do that with a fuel frame shape as long as you have that thin battery. TQ already do that, so TQ are very competitive with the battery sizing, and you could just put in a bit of extra. Obviously this motor is a full power motor. Physical size of the motor looks very similar. Let's just turn it round actually. A very similar size to a Shimano system. It's kind of placed up a little bit. It's not a micro motor. The TQ is smaller than this. I think there's much else we can do with this bike. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you've got any comments, leave them below, and we'll get into this when we get to ride one of these things, which will be fairly soon. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.